Great. So we're going to start now. It's another nerdy night as my roundtable joins me on the Hermes in Upper Mars orbit. I am your mission leader, Commander Sam, the not Asian Ben Riddick Chen. With me tonight is our hotshot pilot capable of flying a rocket with a tarp for a hood, Brant the Rebel Ranch. How's it going, Brant?
I just learned stuff about me. Apparently, I'm a rough and tumble man. I'm doing well. Thank you, Commander, Overlord, sir.
And also with me tonight, since we're playing by Top Gear rules, we left him behind, but we did turn around and get him. Our resident scientist, Chris the Botanist Bunani.
Hello, I'm not a botanist. I'm a mechanical engineer. It's a gross misinterpretation of me being able to grow a potato plant.
True to life, true to life. So I'd just like to take a minute to say happy birthday to our normal host, frolicking through Europe, Ben Riddick. That being said, if he's watching right now, it's no longer his birthday. So, not happy birthday. Ben, are you there?
That was a takesy backsy.
That was a takesy backsy. It's okay. It's okay. He's not here anymore. There are no rules to this show.
Oh.
I like it.
All right.
Brant, keep your clothes on.
Please. Yeah, I was going to say.
So, we've got a great show planned for you while Ben is not here for the next 2 weeks. So, but before we get into our first topic, we're going to talk about active quest lines. That our favorite part of the show, where we talk about what we've been doing with our lives. Mm-hmm. Hint, not really anything. So, Chris, how about you?
Just say, speak for yourself. Then I am a busy, busy man. Thank you very much.
All right, all the math you're doing doesn't count as things.
It's called studying. I'm working on my degree, so it does count. But in terms of nerdy things, other than doing way too much math, let's see, nerdy things. That would be going to see The Martian. I've been excited about that movie coming out for, I don't know, since I read the book a year ago, and I think I've talked it up enough. Sam,
you made me watch it.
And how did you like it?
It was great.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It's a great movie. They did a great job with it. The only thing that makes me mad is the one thing, which is he's a mechanical engineer. Why does he have to say that I'm a botanist as opposed to saying I'm a mechanical engineer? Because that's how he solves like every problem that he comes across. But other than the potatoes. But
other
anyway,
than the potatoes.
Yeah. It's good.
It's okay.
So I've been doing that and studying. Oh, and then farming Hadium flakes. So.
Lots of Destiny. Lots of chores in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Brant, we haven't seen you on the show for a while. I think you disappeared off the face of the planet.
I did.
It's okay.
He was on Mars.
You climbed your way back up. He was on Mars.
You want to know where I was, Sam? I was in the Mushroom Kingdom with my friends, the Mario Brothers. Except you can only play as Mario in Super Mario Maker. My life has been Super Mario Maker. I wake up and I do some stuff, and then there's Super Mario Maker, and then I go and do some work, and there's, in the back of my head, there's like Mario Maker, and I come back home, and then I turn on my Wii U, which was not used for many, many months.
So Brant, why don't you have a Luigi amiibo?
I don't do the amiibo thing because I have a collecting habit, and I know that if I bought the Luigi amiibo, I would need to buy all of the amiibos.
Because apparently you could play as Luigi.
Well, you could technically also play as Link and a whole bunch of other characters if you do like the questioning marky mushroom and things get real. Things get super real when you hit that question mark mushroom. Who are you going to turn into? Nobody knows. Except most people put the person you're going to turn into in the title. So it's like Link's Awakening. Like,
so you get to pick.
That sounds like a whole different type of game right there, just so you know.
Super Mario Maker Link's Awakening?
No, I think he was talking.
No, it's just the way you said that.
It's okay.
Yes. Okay. So I've been playing. That's the only nerdy thing I've really been doing is playing a whole bunch of Super Mario Maker and occasionally making a level or two. Nothing I've uploaded yet, but at some point I will upload a level and then I can, on my resume, say I've made Mario levels. I don't know how that's going to help me in any jobs, but I don't think it could hurt me either.
Do you remember like 10, I don't know how many years ago, when like Times Person of the Year was like you?
Yes.
And it was like the YouTube thing.
Right.
And so people put that on their resume, Times Person of the Year.
Oh, that's genius. I should do that. That's witty. Sam. See, Ben Riddick doesn't have that type of insight.
Exactly.
That's why you're better.
Was that 2010?
Yeah, I think it's 2010. No, it's 2011.
No,
It was
a long time ago. I thought.
No, there was because there was one where it was it was when Steve Jobs had passed away.
Yeah, it was just a reflection.
It was like some people are like, oh, it's definitely going to be Steve Jobs, and Time's like, actually, it's you. You right there with
the 2010 Times Person of the Year.
Yeah.
You could probably do that now and get away with it. People wouldn't know what it was.
Do it. I'm gonna do it.
Be
yeah,
Googling.
I'm definitely going to do that under accomplishments.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
You could just hire one of those places that puts it in for the response returns on Google.
Yes,
they can just put you at the top as the top response.
I have a feeling that buying Times Person of the Year is gonna cost you some money.
I know. I'm just saying.
No. Yeah. Exactly. I got to get the better job first.
Yeah. Exactly.
Before I can start, buying SEO ranks.
There you go. So I've been continuing my quest from last week, which was watching TV. I've been watching more TV and more TV and more TV. But I turned on Heroes Reborn last night, and I just devoured the 3 episodes that were out there. Like, anyone who knows me knows that when they announced Heroes Reborn, I was like, this is garbage. Heroes sucked at the end. My favorite quote about Heroes came from Big Bang Theory, where they're like, well, at least with Heroes, they made it so bad you wanted it off the air.
Yes.
So,
yep.
So I expected almost nothing, and much to my surprise, Heroes Reborn is good. Good level of intrigue. It doesn't play too much off the history, but there's enough there where if you're a former watcher, you'll understand some of the nuance. But it's fun. The characters are interesting. Shout out to a lot of Asians on the show. Apparently, people are crediting the fact that Fresh Off the Boat last year, opened the doors for Asians in Hollywood. So now there's a bunch of shows with Asians on them. Sometimes more than one Asian.
Whoa.
Two
That's
Asians
a
at
lot.
once?
That's a lot. That's more than one.
It's crazy.
That's more than one. Well, I want to be on TV. So
but there's only one Asian on this podcast.
There is only one Asian on this podcast.
Present.
That is true.
Okay. Well, great. So let's roll right into our topics. I believe Brant, the Super Mario Maker.
That's right. It's on my resume, folks. Look it up. Times Person of the Year 2010, Super Mario Maker.
So your topic tonight is creation games, and specifically Super Mario Maker. So why don't you share with us who don't know what that game's all about?
Well, I know creation games.
So the whole point of Super Mario Maker, and why I've been playing it so darn much, is that you can, as the name implies, make Super Mario levels. They give you a template. They give you different worlds, so you can have an above ground world, an underwater world, an underground world, or a castle or a ship. You can have an auto scroller. You can have a level that has to be completed in 10 seconds. You can have as many enemies as you like, and spikes and all sorts of crazy shit if you want to make it really, really hard, or you can make it really easy and try to emulate kind of the Mario levels of yore. And if people subscribe to you, or if they favorite you as a creator, then you could in fact make a world 1-1 and then 1-2 and then 1-3 and 1-4. Unfortunately, nothing carries over, so it's not like you can make your own set of worlds and then so somebody can you beat the first stage, then you go directly into the second stage. No, you complete the first stage and then you can go and play the second stage. But you can have ramp up and difficulty.
Yeah.
So I poked around it a little bit. You don't have to make Super Mario World games, right? There's a way to make Mario 3 and 2 and...
Yeah, there's Mario, there's the original Super Mario Brothers, then there's Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, and then New Super Mario Brothers as the 4 styles that you can use.
Oh, yeah.
Each one of them opens up new kind of paradigms because, in Super Mario World, in Super Mario 3 and World and New Super Mario Brothers, you can fly, and in New Super Mario Brothers you can wall jump. Things got a little bit more open as the games progressed, but it's super rad. The reason why I like the game so much is that Nintendo they're very, very stingy in terms of their properties. They're very protective, so they don't want them on other platforms clearly, and they don't want they send takedown notices to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's trying to do projects. Like there was a Super Mario 64 Bob-omb Battlefield that was made in Unity last year or earlier this year, I think, and they had him take it down. I downloaded it earlier before they did. It is super, super great. So for them to open up the kind of the Mario, the chest of the Marios, and let people poke around and make their own levels is great. Especially because I have such a fondness and such nostalgia for the games, for most of the styles that the games you can make levels in. So like I played a lot of Mario 3 and Mario World as a kid. It's my first experience really with creation games. Like I'm going to posit this question to you once I stop talking here. I was never like a SimCity fan or a Roller Coaster Tycoon fan or even a Little Big Planet fan. None of those games appealed to me at all. A lot of management and stuff going on. But there's something about Super Mario Maker because it's a one level side scroller. You can have multiple areas in your level, so you can have an underground part and then also a regular part. And so you can there's some very complicated levels in addition to troll levels. There are many levels where the word troll is in the title. And so it's like, oh, Bowser's Castle by trolls. And it's so weird. You start and then you're like automatically on top of spikes, so you have to jump and all sorts of crazy nonsense. But I want to know about your experiences, you two, your experiences with game creator games. Anything from, again, SimCity to RPG Maker to the Super Mario Makers. Even.
Chris, you seem like a megalomaniac. I'll let you take the question first.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, honestly, looking into it after you talked about the topic, I started doing some research and reading a little bit, and it looks like something I would like to do. It looks fun because I remember, playing the original Mario and just looking at it going, wow, that would be fun to make my own game. I would probably hate it at this point in my life because, like, I remember I loved the Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day because I had all the time in the world to really invest in the game and make it exactly how I wanted. And I know that now I don't, so I probably would get into it and get frustrated really fast because I wouldn't have the time to dedicate to it because it seems like something that would be really fun. But yeah, just the whole creating your own games as a game is an interesting way to go. Roller Coaster Tycoon brought up a lot of good memories. I remember making kids, like trying to kill people on my roller coasters, and, making the infinite loop on the island where you get off the roller coaster, you have to buy food, go to the bathroom, get back on the roller coaster. There was nowhere else for them to go. So once they got on, it was a continuous loop. Anyway, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. This looks like it would be a ton of fun. I probably wouldn't want to do it right now because I wouldn't have the time to dedicate to it. It seems like that's the only issue that I would have would be the amount of time to put into having fun. Because I think, like, if you just made a world, you would just kind of be taking what you already knew and just doing it again, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, as you got better, there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of nuance you find in making Mario levels. And conversely, I agree with you. There will be, life ebbs and flows. You have more time, less time. Yeah. The other fun thing about Mario Maker, the other side of the coin, as it were, is that there are other, it's sold over 1 million copies so far. And it's been out for less than a month.
That's like more than the number of Wii U's that have been sold.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. And some of the part of the fun is that you can play other people's stages. And so, it's kind of like I wake up and there's just like unlimited Mario. I can wake up and I can say like
that's pretty fun.
You can set set parameters like how hard you want the levels to be. There's easy, medium, or hard, and that's dictated by the percentage of the completion percentage of how many people have played the level versus completed it.
Nice.
And another fun aspect is that they opened the tool. They gave the tools. They gave the game, or they didn't even give the game, but other game developers have made levels. So there are people, there are game makers who have made levels in Super Mario Maker to show their interpretations on like the Mario style.
Okay. That's cool.
That is
Well, see,
pretty. That's pretty.
and that's the thing with creation games for me. It's like,
yeah.
I played through Roller Coaster Tycoon. I thought that was fun, but I never did anything crazy, like make my people on an endless vomit loop.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you have empathy.
No, yeah, you can't have empathy.
A little bit of empathy.
Tycoon.
Tycoon.
I'm gonna feed you dry.
You should have
Well,
increased
yeah.
the prices every go
Yes.
around.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You want to get off the island? You want me to build a bridge? You need to pay. You need to buy the the donut that is $400.
So basically, he's a troll,
Yes.
not letting them off the island bridge. But no, like I've been a big fan of Little Big Planet and that entire series of games, and a lot of it just the cuteness and the different factors of Little Big Planet. But it also was I knew people would like create new levels and create different things, and I think even back to how like Half-Life. I remember some of the funnest things I did were like custom maps in like Team Fortress or Half-Life where you had to do like weird jumps. And so like to me, that's the funnest part about these creation games. Like I don't think I would ever spend time perfecting the actual creation of a game. I don't think I'm good enough, to be honest. And the time factor is a big part. But I love playing through them. That being said, I'm not buying a Wii U. Sorry, Nintendo.
Yeah, I think that's my issue right now too. With that specifically is the Wii U. So
It's the best game that has that makes use of the gamepad. I'll tell you that much because you make the game on the gamepad.
Ah,
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
So you're placing items and variables.
Yeah. I watched that little tutorial on it, and
That's
I was
pretty
like,
cool.
okay, that's pretty cool. But I want to do that on my tablet. I'd want to do that on my Surface. You know, like.
But you're talking about a niche product. You're like, oh, I don't want a Wii U. I'm going to use my very popular Surface Microsoft tablet computer.
No, but like something like that. I'd rather use a tablet or something like that. But it's fun, I think, and that's where that's a whole different topic. Nintendo's ability to think about how many more they would sell if that was an app.
It's true.
That's
but
true.
Then you have to play the game with a controller. It's a whole big thing
I know,
because creating it's only half the fun.
You know what I'm saying?
Or 0% of the
If
fun.
they made that a $10 app, how many millions would they have sold already? If they had made it a $10 app.
I don't know. It is,
tablets.
this late in the console cycle. I'll say that it will be Wii U's killer app. It is it is a reason to own this console. It is so damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see, like, and I think maybe this is like me wearing the business hat a little bit, but like, I totally think it'd be great to create games like where you have this kind of creator side of it, and like depending on how well your games perform, like you get rewarded either in real life or in the game, and then it encourages other people to play, and I think that would be awesome. But I'm a capitalist, and the Pope says capitalists are bad. I'm sorry.
All right, that's. I think that's when you invoke the Pope. I think that's when my topic dies.
Yeah, I think that's the end of that topic.
It's like a trump card.
We don't want to talk about Trump.
Don't want to talk about Trump. That's
I completely forget that is now taking on a completely different meaning.
Yep.
It's a good phrase that is.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, let's before we're wrapping up the topic. I mean, do you think that having creation games or having creation elements in games makes you play them more?
I'll say yes. I wish that they had added more elements into the. Okay, Skyrim. Let's just use that as an example. People turned it into their own creation game with the amount of mods, the amount of stuff that people have added to it, and they opened it up and said, "Go for it." And I think think about the longevity that got because of that. So just imagine if they had put that into, or a newer game, putting that into its base system of, we're going to let you immediately start building. Like imagine if Witcher had launched with the ability to just start modifying and adding stuff at the end.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing. It's already an amazing game. It would have been even more. See? Zoe agrees.
My dogs apparently agree with you. Quiet down.
There it is.
I'm trying to cup the microphone. That didn't work.
Yes. Dogs.
Brad, how about you?
I think that I'm really. It's never gotten me before. I think it could be a cool hook depending on the game. I don't want any games to have creation tools shoehorned into them. but it is certainly very, very fun if the tools are intuitive enough to make something and then put it out into the world.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's like, oh my god, I made a Mario level. That's
isn't that basically Minecraft too?
yes, the ultimate creation tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have either of you looked at Dreams, which is like just the new like media molecule game from the creators of Little Big Planet and Tearaway? That's like pure creation.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of like another extreme to what you guys are talking about. Like, what do you think about that?
I'm interested in seeing how it goes. I'm not going to be the one to jump headfirst into it. But
Exactly. I agree. I think it's a time crunch too.
Certainly.
You have to have that. I think all of those games are always going to be kind of niche games because of that. Mario, I think, gets around that because it's Mario. And because you can do the 2D and the 3D side-scroller, you can do the 2D side-scrolling, which isn't that difficult to conceptualize for you to make.
Yeah.
As opposed to doing something that's in full 3 dimensions with no frame of reference. So I think that's what hits a lot of those games and hurts them.
So Chris, to your point earlier, does that make this more of like an app than it is really a game, so to speak?
I mean, I haven't played it myself, but when I was reading through what it is, listening to Brent, it kind of sounds like that. Being honest,
it's
not a bad thing.
It's so good.
But it's not a game, is it?
It's a game. I play like 50 Mario levels a day. That's a good game.
You have to create in order to play anything, or you can go play other people.
No, you can just play for days. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to create.
No, not Mario Maker. Dreams.
Oh, Dreams. Yes.
Yeah, Dreams. You have to create.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You have to invest and learn how the systems work and learn and start building. Which there's a huge, I think, time investment up front for games like that. Most creation games. I mean, even Minecraft. Like, I think there was an entire South Park episode dedicated to the fact that that adults look at it and go, "What am I supposed to be doing? I'm punching a rock? I don't understand." And then you have to like learn how to get to the point where you can make a fire. So maybe it's really good for kids to grow up with that kind of stuff, and they're kind of, maybe I'm just getting old and everything's just evolving. So.
Yes, oldie. So yay, nay, you think it's going to be good? You think it's going to suck?
It could go either way. I'm interested in seeing how it works out.
There aren't that many other options.
I think it's going to be good, but I think it's going to be niche. I don't think it's going to catch on and be the super popular thing that everyone wants it to be, or that the creators want it to be.
Yeah, I think much the same way that it's like it's going to be a hit for this group of people.
Yep.
Who that group of people is, don't know yet. But they will exist. Yeah, like filmmakers, animators, those crazy people at Pixar.
I'll tell you, like a few years from now, that when game creators are asked, "Oh, how did you get into game creation?" Someone's going to say Mario Maker. Someone's going to be like, there was this game that people talked about on the internet. It's Mario, and I made him jump,
this
and I made him
guy.
Stuff. Yeah, you could have the just most gnarly shit going on. You break the rules of the Marios. It's great.
So moving on to our second topic, since Brant is boring. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Brant.
It's good.
Those of you PS4 owners may have lamented I don't know how long download you had to do last week for the version 3.0 upgrade to the firmware system, which leads into kind of Chris's topic, which is basically now that we've got some more community elements in PlayStation and we had some in Xbox, what's the debate there on like, hey, if you've got friends on Xbox and you got friends on PlayStation, where are you going to play?
Yep. Want me to talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Chris.
Well, you summed it up perfectly. So when you're doing group dynamics, for multiplayer games specifically, and even for the newest shooter coming out or the newest, whatever the new game is, you want to be able to turn a system on, log in, and see your friends. So that if you want to play with them, you can play with them. If you want to just talk while you're playing your own game, you can do that. Or just annoy them and then disappear for a minute. You can do that, whatever, but you want to be able to do that. And I know both systems are pushing to try to make that their thing. Xbox has really been pushing it since the beginning, and I think they had the advantage in terms of the way the system worked. I still had a problem with the Xbox user base from back in the day. The actual fans, like there was a lot of childishness in it. Not as many adults. More adults seem to be playing on the PlayStation Network. But now with the new update to PlayStation, I think things have kind of shifted a lot. You have new improvements, and does it push it over? Does it make it where that's going to be the place that we're going to go? So that's yeah.
So I didn't see all the details of the update. Can you like just tell me like what I saw a community button now that showed up in an events button, but I don't.
So what you have now is this: you have communities. So you actually have the ability to create communities based around interests. So like we all play Destiny, so you could actually create a Nerdy Knights Destiny community with its own message board, discussion, screenshots, all that kind of stuff. Everything is there. You could actually have like a Nerdy Knights board for the PlayStation Network. You could have, so that's part of it. Stickers, big deal.
Yay, stickers!
Yeah, I know. There's going to be a movement, and there's improvements to messaging groups. So you can make actually now your favorite groups of people, so they actually do appear immediately when you log in, instead of looking for them, which we've been complaining about forever. So that's part of it now. You just have to look at the functionality. It's there. Events is nice. So you can actually, this is something from World of Warcraft that they put in a long time ago. I'm surprised it never came over. That's World of Warcraft, but all MMOs, is that it's a calendar. So it's the same thing we do now with, you can create a calendar event, send it out to everyone who's part of your group. So if we're going to go do a raid, if we're going to go, do some mission or some story at this day, on this time, you can put that in an event and everyone gets it and you can get the message from it. I know YouTube, all of that, the live streaming is a lot easier now. It's easier to do. Screenshots have been updated on. It's a bunch of stuff. So there you go. There's a quick little rundown on it.
So do you think people are going to use it?
I think that it's something where people have to get used to it, and then I think it's going to get used. Because I know, again, from playing MMOs, that's the style of game that this works really well for. And that's a huge thing. Just imagine, we play a lot of Destiny together. Imagine if you could set, we're going to do the new, Oryx raid on Tuesday night at this time, Pacific Standard. So, boom, we're set. We know who's going. We know which 6 people are going to be on. You can reply. You're in the event. We don't have to get on and who's going to be on. That's a huge thing. And Xbox already had some of that. So now, with the new functionality, with newer games coming out, where do you think everyone's going to wind up?
So does Xbox have anything similar to that?
Yeah, they have. They've had similar stuff like that because it's Windows based. Oh. So they have all of their with the new Windows 10 update. They have all of that kind of one functionality with the Microsoft Office products built in. So you have the Outlook. The problem is they want you to use, again, you're using your Microsoft account and creating events in Microsoft and moving it around through there, which no one really ever does.
That's fair. So, Brant, what do you say? You ready to join the Nerdy Knights Destiny community?
Maybe. I've considered playing Destiny because now I've been listening to some of the podcasts. I don't know if there are these things called podcasts. So I was listening.
Are there?
We should think about recording these conversations that we have.
That would be genius.
Especially since we have a certain date and time when we're on the internet. But that's a different topic. We should do that when
Ben's not here because he is firmly against that.
He hates the internet. He's a weird man. He's all sorts of analog stuff. Anyway, but it was. I've been listening to podcasts and they've been saying, if you get into year 2, then you get all the stuff, and then it's just one investment for people who want to kind of get caught up. I pay $60 American dollars, and I'm in pretty good shape. So potentially, I could see myself playing Destiny. I know that would please a bunch of people.
Most about this chat.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. There would be at least Ben would be happy. And if Ben's happy, then the whole world can go to hell. As long as Ben's happy, though.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a shining star.
Which is great. The big thing is going to be, does this, and it's just an open-ended question, does this push the PlayStation, in the response that I've seen so far online from Xbox owners, is that they're pissed off because the update for the PlayStation is that good.
I'm not going to use a whole lot of it because I don't play a whole bunch of multiplayer games.
I don't have friends. I
have friends, but I just don't play.
Well, no, but imagine if you had that functionality for Mario Maker.
Right. No, I just think that it's great. I think that the tools are incredible. I updated the PlayStation. I think through Plus it downloaded when I went to sleep.
Yep.
So I just hit X and everything went smoothly. As opposed to like 15 hours of
waiting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The usefulness of having it connected through an Ethernet jack. So I think the tools are incredible. I've checked out the rundown. There are people posting about communities for like the Kind of Funny people have a PlayStation community, and I think there are other publications and folks that have communities. And I think that's absolutely great. It's a way to engage with other fans of a particular product. You have, that you want to play with people on PlayStation, and you like this community. If they have a community on this PlayStation Network, it's easy to interact with people. It's great. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of it, but I think that it is an incredibly smart move, and it'll prove super useful going forward to have it established this early in the console's life. It's been almost 2 years, but it's got a few more years certainly left in it. So to have the social tools be this competent this early is it's an exceptionally good sign for Sony.
Yeah, and if you have very competent social tools, and you have similar everything else, do then exclusives become the only reason to play one system over the other?
I mean, I think so.
Or is it just, again, your own personal community? So,
I mean, I think it's interesting because like you've kind of carved out this niche between the PS4 Xbox owners and like Wii U, where like I think the last generation of gaming was probably more across the board. Like, I think I would know more people who owned a Wii, a PS3, and an Xbox 360 than I do people who own a PS4, an Xbox One, and a Wii U. Unless they bought the Wii U first, like idiots.
That's some trash talking right there.
I'm telling you.
It might be. But yeah, I mean, I think that's, you know what? I actually don't think that's where it's going. And I think the differentiator isn't the games, but the ancillary support on the systems. And it's interesting because, so as we, like 12 hours from this podcast right now, Microsoft is having a Windows 10 event. And they're expected to highlight a ton of new stuff, including new products, but also probably more integration on how Xbox is going to deal with Windows 10.
Yeah.
And to me, that's going to be the biggest difference. If Xbox can bridge PC gaming and PS4 is like the king of console gaming, like I think you have enough of a niche on both sides. Now, obviously the Xbox isn't going to replace your awesome gaming laptop, but in a sense it gets close.
Is that an eye roll? Yeah, your awesome gaming laptop.
Maybe. No.
I have an awesome gaming desktop.
Let's put it another way. I'm a Mac user. I've been a Mac user for a while. I now own a Surface Pro. I have not PC gamed in who knows how long.
Although your Surface Pro can PC game, just so you know.
It can. I'm not gonna like put Skyrim on it though.
I boot camp with my Mac. I enjoy my life. It's a good time.
I'm surrounded by Mac users. Whoever's in chat, sorry.
Yeah, listen. Just because you're hanging out with people who make smarter choices than you doesn't mean that you have to feel bad.
You can keep talking, Chief. All I'm hearing is behind. That's okay. There is a huge divide. That's a whole other thing. I could even imagine if like, I mean, it's again Microsoft. It's funny the amount of people who I know that have iPhones and Microsoft products everywhere and do not have an Xbox or do not like it at all. And it's like,
Yeah, it's weird because like so I've got friends who work for Google, and it's an interesting divide
there's
because
no
like
Apple version of
they
it.
all have Android phones,
But there's
they
no,
all have Mac laptops.
yeah. And then but there's no Mac. Could you imagine if there was like an Apple gaming console? They tried to get in on it.
I mean, there kind of is now. The Apple TV is kind of built.
They could just buy a couple of the companies making
They
current
could
stuff.
just
They
buy
be like,
Sony.
They could be like, Sony, come on.
Just buy them and just be like, this is now called the i console, and it's not the PS4 anymore. It's the PSI4,
Yeah.
and we're going to sell you a new one every year. It'll be the
So,
exact same thing.
gaming components for build your own PCs, which is in my opinion the only way to do it, is to roll your own. Components get updated all the time, so
Yep.
it's a whole rigmarole.
Yeah.
So given that, I mean, I think the last question I kind of have in this is, obviously you see the way console gaming has evolved. Do you think that these group dynamics, like because they're so augmented with PC, whether it's in the PC gaming space or whether it's just literally a website like Destiny LFG where you can find people, do you think that's not already existed, or do you think it just makes it easier for the average gamer to find? Like, what do you think is the great new benefit coming out of this?
I think that it's a lot of people do not, even people that I play with, do not sit down with their PS4 or Xbox on next to their computer.
Like me.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
People
it's
play.
true. They play in their TV in the living room, and the laptop's put away or whatever, and having that functionality be right there, that's the key. And that's what they've been pushing, is it's an all-in-one system. It's able to do everything. That's what Microsoft's tried to do. And but yeah, I think that's the difference between the fact that it does already exist. There's no reason in the world that you couldn't just invite all of your friends, make a Facebook group, and label it some sort of weird, NNR, something, something weird, something about nerds, and just invite people through that. But no one does. So
Brant, how about you? Is your PC next to your console?
Yes, everything is hooked up to one monitor. It's got some DisplayPort inputs. It's got some HDMI inputs. It's got Ks. It's got 4Ks. It's got 4Ks hooked up.
That's a lot of Benjamins. How many Benjamins is that 4K?
How many Benjamins was the 4K? Like 4. It was 4 bills.
Okay.
I got it refurbished.
The engineer answer is 40. 40.
44. Oh, yes.
I was wondering. I was like, 4? That's really, really a good deal. I didn't know where you got that from.
No, 4 Ben Riddicks.
4 Ben Riddicks.
4 Benjamin Riddicks. And so, yeah, I can just switch between my inputs. And so usually I have my laptop connected. I actually have everything built into my desk because I'm a lunatic. And I put holes in the desk and wires and cooling, and it's a whole... I'm not the average bear. Certainly. But it's nice to have everything. I like having everything consolidated. So if I'm like talking to you folks, then I'm like, man, we're doing nerdy things and we're knights. And then I take the helmet off after the podcast. Then I just flip on my Mario Maker, and it's a good time to be alive. In fact, I can play Mario Maker on the gamepad right now and ignore you fools.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, so let's shift to our third and final topic of the evening, which is my topic, aka the best topic. No. So a couple days ago, one of my Facebook friends happened to post a little article from, I think it was Forbes, about the possibility of video game voice actors going on strike. This Facebook friend happened to be one of the leaders of that movement. So I'm friends with Tara Strong on Facebook. And by that, I mean I am one of her like 5,000 followers that made the cut to be a Facebook friend. And so she's probably most well known for her work as Harley Quinn, since Arkham City and random other shows where she's played that character. But essentially what's happening right now is the Screen Actors Guild something AFTRA, which I have no idea what that stands for, is kind of going under union contracts and debating whether they should strike on kind of the basis of like performance does performance matter within video game voice acting? And so the things they're asking for are they want stunt pay for vocal stress. So they're basically saying, like, we do a lot of screaming, we do a lot of yelling, it takes a toll on our vocal cords. So that's stunt pay for us, which I could kind of see that argument. They're asking for like things like stunt coordination for motion capture, which kind of makes sense, right? Like if you're actually acting, someone should probably direct you. But then I think one of the big things that they're asking for is performance bonuses, which I think currently are capped at like 3,300 for a game. But they're saying like we should start getting bonuses if the game/subscriber list gets to 2 mil. We'll cap it at 8 mil, and at which time we'll get $13,000 in kind of residual for that. So I guess like to you guys, what do you guys think about, you know, pay for performance in video games? Do you think that there's some voice actors who do such a great job that they just make or break the game, or do you think it's, you know, like it's the writing, it's the environment, it's the story, it's like all those different other factors that contribute to the game, and the, you know, the voice actor makes it from great to excellent, but not from like bad to good? Brent, what do you think?
Man, I play so many games with silent protagonists.
It's a you, Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Have you told you about Mario Maker yet? It's a really good game. It's The Legend of Zelda is also really, really great. But in more on a more serious note, I think the game experience that I had that pushes me towards siding with the voice actors is The Last of Us, where I got really, really, really invested in that game. And a whole lot of it came from the way that those actors delivered the lines that were given to them. I could hear the fear in the voices and the desperation and there's a whole bunch of emotion put behind that script. I mean, we could sit here and chicken and egg this for a while and say like, well, if the script wasn't good, then the actors would have nothing to base their performance on. But does the performance stand on its own if it was a text only? If there was no audio and it was just text only and the text was delivered, would it have the emotional impact? If your brain is, the bandwidth in your brain is spent between trying to read the text while watching the action?
Well, I mean, for years you didn't have voice acting.
That's true.
So all of those really good games from my childhood and maybe your infancy were...
I played a lot of SNES games. I'd say.
I was
16-bit era is
like
great.
all of those, like all the Final Fantasies, all that stuff, none of that was voice acted, and it still had the emotional impact. So
yeah, I'll agree, but
not as much though as The Last of Us. I agree with you on your point about The Last of Us being great, but then the question becomes: voice actors are wanting more money. Is basically what it comes down to. So they're saying that our voice acting, right? Sam, make sure I'm reading this right. They're saying that our voice acting should be similar to either a commercial actor or a movie actor. And so if the video game, say like Destiny, we'll just keep going back to it, makes a ton of money for the person, why am I not being compensated for that? Correct?
Yep.
So the question then is, what about the writers?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a good point.
Because you were saying, is it the voice or the writing? Are the writers also at the same boat?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good point, and it's come up in the chat now where kind of Zufu talks about voice actors have a lot of leverage in their voices being synonymous with their most popular characters. And then, yeah, essentially they do have some like method of holding game developers by the balls. But the most interesting part about kind of their ask for performance bonuses based on game sales is that they're asking for this, but developers don't have that level of performance bonus. So people who arguably are more critical to a game's like overall enjoyability and success, arguably aren't getting that. Should voice actors get it? And I don't know. Like, I think when I first heard about this at face value, I'm like, yeah, voice actors are great. Voice actors make games great. We should continue to do it. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like...
Okay, well, then you still have the same thing. Go back to movies, which is what everyone kind of compares them to. That's kind of where this is coming from. is they're wanting to be considered actors. So you're a voice actor. Are you in the same league as Robert Downey Jr. for Avengers, where he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but after we renegotiate, and Avengers made how much? $1 billion? And he made how much off of that? What was it? It was 500 million, right?
Yeah, something ridiculous.
So is the is The Last of Us, should the two actors, the main two protagonists, make that percentage?
Well, so the argument there is like, okay, and Chad's brought this up, is they also did voice or motion capture.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree with that too. So, like, I guess we could not play the actors in Avatar. So the animators need to make a percentage because they animate the voice. Really, the whole thing is a system. I mean, we're really talking economics now. You're talking about the bottom line. Where do the profits go? It's are you profit sharing or are you not profit sharing?
Right.
I mean, only A-list actors. You have to have enough pull that it's either going to make or break without you, in order to get that percentage and that bonus for lifetime. You have to.
Like Jack Nicholson. It's like the ultimate deal.
I mean, if you don't, but so it really comes down to that. I think voice actors are in a bad spot because you're not seen, and the other people that create the character are not in a point where they can leverage themselves. And so I don't think they're going to get it.
See, I'm really curious about this because obviously we talked about voice acting in Destiny with kind of the Taken King update. Like, I wonder if
woken the hive.
Yeah,
we've woken the hive.
So I'm always curious for like the Nathan Fillions, the Gina Torreses, the people who actually are even the Peter Dinklages, right? Who are on TV or in movies on an active basis. Do they I wonder if they command more as voice actors, or do they not, because it's, no, hey, this is your side gig.
No, they do. Yeah. They have a specific amount for voice acting. There's no way their agents are going to let them not do that. So Nathan Fillion is probably getting a percentage. Yeah. That's the point. Once you're an actor and you're established and you have that draw, then you have the draw. You have that ability. That I don't think that the average voice actor has that ability. It's unfortunate. I don't necessarily agree, but I think that that's what's going to happen. Because there's always other voice actors.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened with radio personalities.
I think it's kind of interesting
because... They didn't get what they wanted?
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting because you look at iconic characters like Mickey Mouse, right? And he has a voice. And I'm sure that voice has changed over time by who's voicing him. But, I don't think any of us can name a Mickey Mouse voice actor.
Walt Disney.
So, I doubt Walt Disney voiced the original Mickey.
I think Nolan North is probably...
Man,
now.
I'm off on my Disney.
But, yeah. Nolan North is one of those guys that could command. And, again, he made the name for himself, and now he gets to command it.
So, okay, let's say they get this. Let's say they go to a certain level, and probably there's some level of demand / performance for voice actors. Do you think developers are going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to hire the second-rate guys. I don't want to go all out for a Nolan North or Troy Baker or anyone of that caliber. I'm going to go for the Brants and the Chris Boudanis of the world. They've got voices.
I mean, the point is,
I have a voice.
You still have money guaranteed. There is bonuses in there. They're just not as good as they want, right? There's a capped amount of bonus, and they're wanting to uncap it. They want to raise the cap. They want to raise the cap. So I mean, I can see that maybe going through, but yeah, it's tough. But I do think that the voice acting makes and breaks the more modern video games.
Yeah, I was going to say, in 10 years, I'd love to have this argument. Because then because the voice acting in video games has only gotten very important very recently. Yeah, The Last of Us, you were 100% correct, Brant. Yeah, makes or breaks. Yeah, so that's if we have a few more Last of Us cinematic games.
Last of I.
It's like Final Fantasy, right? It's the Final Fantasy.
It's the last of the last.
Who's
of
gonna
us.
who's gonna voice Cecil in the remake?
Oh, yeah,
The world will have to wait.
yeah. Well, it's definitely good.
So I guess if you go back to kind of the overall question, then, and I know we've talked a little bit about the nuance, but does performance matter? Like I think we've talked about the fact that VAs actually have some power to leverage themselves, but do you think they're the difference between good and bad, or they're the difference between good and great?
The second one.
Yeah, because if a game's like broken,
It's the second one.
if it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5,
Yeah.
and you have De Niro doing the performance, like nothing is going to make it better.
Still not going to sell it.
Yeah, it's true.
But Destiny, again, the horrible voice acting from Dinklage, the game was still great, but switching it over to North with version 2 and having actual, but again, also a better story. It moves the game. And The Last of Us, having those actors makes it from good to great. So does the Nathan Drake, the other one with him, with Drake. All of those.
The Uncharted.
Uncharted. Thank you. I was like the Nathan.
The Nathan Drake.
The Nathan Drakes.
The Nathan. Oh, I was about to say Nathan Fillion instead of Drake, but yeah.
What if Nathan Drake was voiced by
The
Drake?
Nolan Drake Fillion Nathan? I don't know. It's a bunch of names that are similar.
What if Nathan Drake was actually just a combo of Nathan Fillion and Drake?
Yep. Oh my God! No, don't do
Get out of my head is what I'm telling you right now.
that. He comes in, starts rapping, but
So great.
But yeah, I think that because that's going to come out soon, also the new one, and I think the voice acting there is going to be, again, it pushes it over. Plus, you have some horrible voice acting that didn't ruin great, like Far Cry 3. Some of the voice acting in that was horrible, but it was still a great game. So maybe you should have like performance bonuses if your performance is considered great. And then if it's considered bad, they should just be like, no bonuses. Even if
It's all about we need a Metacritic for voice
acting.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You know, it's weird. People like randomly will come to me like, "You have a really nice voice. You should do radio." And I'm like, "Thanks."
Do you tell them about Nerdy Nights of the Round?
Do you have a job for me? Yes, I do. I'm like, well, you could catch me on Monday nights at 7:30
You can keep it locked.
So at the end of the day, voice actor is more important, or story, script, writing more important?
I guess script only because it gives the voice actor something to read. But I think that a good voice actor can make the most out of a subpar script as well.
Okay, that's fair.
like
That's fair.
With that caveat.
I'll take one of those answers, please.
I'm going with that. I don't even need to
See
add.
what happens. I'm
Very
a
good.
smart man sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the same boat that like voice actors can like. It's interesting because a lot of these voice actors in video games that I've known, I met through kind of the anime community, and I feel like it's the same like sub versus dub debate, right? Where most people are like, "Oh yeah, subs are great," and it's like if you have the right show and the right dub and the right translation, it's okay. Like I'll watch it, and sometimes it might even be better. I could not imagine watching Digimon in the original Japanese.
I could not imagine
Greymon.
watching Digimon.
Oh,
Apparently, you didn't have a childhood, Chris,
I'm
or
too
your
old.
childhood was just silent.
No, I'm old. No, actually, I couldn't imagine watching like Ninja Scroll in the original. Like, actually, no, that was really good in the original Japanese dub. I'm trying to think. Akira in the original Japanese was great. When they dubbed it over, it wasn't that good, and then they redubbed it and it was good. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, great. Thanks so much for everyone joining us, whether you're in the chat or on the screen. Brent's like, I was on a screen.
That is a way to size up the entire world. All right, keep
in
going.
the chat or on a screen. So remember, you can find us all over different areas of the internet. Brent, where can people find you?
All you have to do is you open up your Twitter client of choice and you type the @ symbol and then BRANJ, and then you type a message, and I'll see it, and I might smile and nod appropriately, or send you a message back, or favorite or retweet it. But that is where you can find me on the internet. That's it.
Chris, how about you?
On the Twitter machine, it's at C and then Bonanni. Good luck. It's BUONANNI.
I get that wrong.
Everyone gets it wrong. So that will be updated shortly. If I see your tweet to me, I will smile, nod, and I might send you something inappropriate back.
And you can find me on Twitter at DJ Fluffkins, DJFLUFFKINS. If you tweet at me, I may send you a poop emoji, because that's a very popular emoji in Canada, as studies show. They actually did run a study on what the most popular emojis were by country, and they said that's how they measured depression in a country. Like, too many sad faces was a bad thing.
Too many poop emojis.
Poop emojis. And you can also find everything Nerdy Nights related at nerdy_nights and on our website, www.nkrn.org. Remember, Nerdy Nights Radio is live on Twitch every Monday evening at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and you can be a part of the show by participating in the chat. And you'll find everything split into videos on YouTube at the Nerdy Nights channel and on iTunes. And one extra plug for something that we're doing in less than a month now. No, exactly over a month by a day. We are going to be out at D20 Games in Alameda live for a 24-hour stream for Extra Life. Extra Life is a kind of charitable organization raising money for children's hospitals. We're specifically out there trying to hit our goal of $5,000. I think it's $5,000. We should just say it's $10,000, and then we'll just like once you get to 5, we'll be like, it was actually 10. Give us more money for the children. But we're going to be out there November 6th, I believe, through the 7th, or through part of the 7th. So if you can come, hang out with the Nerdy Nights crew, win some great prizes, which I cannot show off right now because they're all in Ben's apartment or house. But yeah, thanks again, everyone. It's been an excellent night, and I officially dubbed the Nerdy Nights of the Round. Go out and defend the realm of the Nerdy Nights, and until next week, remember, it's dangerous to go alone.